Wanted to share a little tip. Might be helpful for some people doing this by yourself, so you don't have to have a spouse with a dead man stick or a broom trying to hold stuff up for you. What I do on the bats with the nail flaps is I take just some standard oil squeeze clamps. I put one in, clear soap from that end, clear soap from this end. Excuse me, doing this without my mask on. Now I've got a couple little bars to hold my insulation up while I'm getting my flaps all jockeyed into position and straight and level, and then get it stapled up without problems. Let me show you how I do that. There you have it. One man overhead bat insulation install without having it falling down on you. Hope that was helpful. Going to be doing some work in the living room today. Big job for us because, or I should say a big milestone, because this has been a lot of work in the making. And so getting some drywall up and getting some texture and paint going in here is going to be really nice. We've been working in here for months. And let me flip you around. These ceilings needed a lot of work. And I mean, we had to reinforce some joists. We had to add some sistering and to strengthen things up. We had to get all this insulation up. We had to rebuild kind of a beam up here to reinforce that. It's been quite a work. We've been working on it for a couple months, easy. And so now getting some drywall up, and that's going to be really exciting because that's a big step to making a room out of a construction zone. And so we're really excited about we're going to start over here and start working on some insulation, or rather on some drywall, getting it installed with the panel lift. So we've got this panel lift that we bought at Harbor Freight a couple years ago. It served us well, and we're going to be using it to do the ceiling in here, and that really makes it easy on you comparatively to trying to hold them up over your head. So we'll just get working on that today and see how it goes. Okay, so the last few days we've been working on the ceiling here in the living room and also a strip along the kitchen side of the fireplace. And that's pretty exciting. We've been looking at subroof and rafters and insulation and attic space for, well, some months. And so to actually have a ceiling and make this start feeling a little bit more like a room again is pretty exciting for us. Let me show you what we got going on. So yeah, we got all this area done from this beam all the way over to this beam. We got around the chimney all drywalled, and we've got this strip here that goes along this side of the kitchen. Got a lot of mud and tape work left to do. Today we're going to do a little bit of cleanup. We got a lot of scraps and stuff to get out of our way. I'm going to get this panel lift. It's all broken down now. I'm going to get that back outside, put it in storage, and then we're going to start on the walls. We've got this wall over here and this wall over here, and so we've got room. We are going to put R19 insulation here because on the other side of this room is a bathroom, and since that borders our living space, our living room area, we are going to go ahead and insulate this whole area here with R19 for sound reasons before we drywall it. And then as soon as we get that done, we can start the living room mud and tape to get this ready for texture and paint. And then it'll actually start to look like a real room.